is it bad that I feel for those generations who never experienced a true cinema outing? Because cinema in the 90s into the early 2000s was something special. Why? Because without us even knowing it at the time, that particular age of cinema experience was nearing its end of days, and we had no idea. Here I want to take a step back to talk about a different time where a trip to the cinema was far more of an experience than it ever will be today. So, going to the cinema in the 90s felt like a special event marked by unique social dynamics, less digital reliance, and a distinct film culture. It was an experience categorised by a sense of community and the collective excitement of shared entertainment. See, taking a trip to the cinema back then consisted of a much more planned out adventure rather than just searching for the selective cinema into your phone, selecting the time, buying the tickets, and downloading them all in one place. Finding showtimes back then consulted in either the local newspaper or even ringing the theatre's phone number via your landline and navigating yourself through a series of options from the cinema itself, and awaiting the automated voice to call out your chosen movie, selecting it, and having a pen and paper ready for the showtimes. Which is a far cry from today's instant online access. Now yes, you can moan and say everything is easier now, so may it be, but let's be honest, does it make it rather boring and bland? Kinda does, doesn't it? Also, might I add that ticket prices were far cheaper back then, and I'm not talking about inflation, they just were. They were more accessible for teens and families. You could take much more of a risk back then, and not waste as much money. Cinema trips were more family orientated as well. I remember fondly of going to screenings of Jurassic Park: The Lost World or The Phantom Menace with uncles, aunts and cousins. Then later on with friends.
Oh friend! Oh new friend! Oh friend!
Where it took us 2 buses to get there. And then, later on down the line, if I was lucky, I would be taking a girl.
Oh. Girl?
So here we are, arriving in the car park, seeing those illuminated lights, a lobby full of moviegoers, televisions booming out the latest trailers, and the massive cardboard advertisements littered around the edge. Not forgetting that sweet smell of warm popcorn when you entered into the multicoloured carpeted lobby that looked like it was taken from The Shining and headed down towards that ticket office. Once you had entered your designated screening, you settled yourself in with those snacks that you snuck inside yourself. Obviously, we do that now. But after the advertisements were over, the first set of excitement began. The trailers. Now before social media took hold and drowned us with multiple trailers, possible spoilers and outcomes, not forgetting teasers for teasers and teasers, this was the only place you could really experience them, and it was glorious. And I do believe in saying that less is more. Sometimes going in blind opens you up for a better and more surprising experience. But it wasn't just the cinemas themselves that offered such unique memories. It was also the movies themselves that added to that. See, 90s films had a distinct visual quality due to being shot predominantly on high quality film stock rather than digital cameras. This gave them a specific natural colour palette and a crisp yet grainy look. Studios were also prepared to take more risks on originals instead of playing it safe by building upon already established franchises, by creating non-IP driven stories and wacky films relying more star power than anything else. One of the main highlights would have been the sheer number of blockbuster releases back then, where auditoriums would have been packed to the rafters with sold out showings of Jurassic Park and Titanic to name a few. This time was a fond memory in my life, and a place that sits comfortably close to my heart. It was where my love for cinema and film was born. If you look back, you will realise and notice these were becoming the final moments of originality, and yes, the early 2000s also played their part in giving us some fantastic originals, but time was running out. As we are reminiscing, I would love to know of your own experiences, thoughts and memories in the comment section below. But if you like what you see and you want to see more, you know what to do. I'm Doomscroll. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.